Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today I'm going to show you a klezmer jazz crossover tune called Shtiler Bulgar, also known as And the Angels Sing. Der Stille Bulgar, or the Quiet Bulgar. It tells a fascinating story about a very interesting part of klezmer history. Klezmer started off in Eastern Europe, but in the 19th and early 20th century there was a huge emigration from Eastern Europe to America, particularly to New York. And this had great consequences for the music, and the axis of klezmer itself moved to New York really. There was a new kind of fusion started in the early 20th century, what was initially called the Oriental Foxtrot, which was a crossover between jazz and klezmer. And this was popular and it served various purposes. So for the non-Jews, for the Gentiles, this was something exotic and exciting. And for the Jews who'd arrived in America, it was part of their musical assimilation. So it represented both the nostalgia of the klezmer and the modernity of the contemporary jazz. And for people like myself who love music fusion, it's a fascinating style of music. Perhaps the best known example being by Mir Bistu Shane. So Der Stille Bulgar was a 19th century klezmer tune, and it was first recorded in America by Abe Schwartz, the fiddle player and band leader, and he did it in 1917. In 1938, the trumpeter Ziggy Elman recorded a swing version of this, and he slowed it down and added a swing to the rhythm. And it was then recorded in 1939 by Benny Goodman with lyrics by Johnny Mercer, and they called it And the Angels Sing. And this was very popular. And the idea of a klezmer sandwich with the smooth bit on the outside and the klezmer, the fast bit in the middle, started around then. And it was recorded also by Tommy Dorsey and by Glen Miller. And by the Glen Miller version it wasn't really recognisable as a klezmer tune, but it's certainly fascinating, and it's one of the most popular tunes in the klezmer itself, but it has this great crossover potential. So I'm going to give you three versions. First of all, the original klezmer version, I think based on the Abe Schwartz recording. Then we'll look at a kind of a fusion of the different jazz versions, and finally a gypsy jazz version. First part is C major, the second part is based around C7, and the third part is around A minor. So I'll give you slowly the three sections of the klezmer version. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Okay, I'll just go through a few details on that. The main challenge in the first part is the jump up an octave. There. The fingering that I use is second finger to third finger, changing position as I go from one to the other. If you don't like third position, you just take it down an octave if you like. I do have a video on how to play third position if you happen to be a beginner to that particular concept. You could do just lengthen the C note, and that would get you around that perfectly well. End of this section we've got, which is jumping up position, second to first finger. Or you could just leave that little bit out entirely. The next part you can do either all in third position like this, or you can jump down when you get the chance, in which case you do this. So start in third position and then down, then up. Now this bit, it looks really hard, but if you do it all in one bow and slide your fourth finger up like that, then that works quite easily. Then down to first position. There's some good places for downward glessendos here. So the second finger on the E string is a good place for a glissando. That first finger there again. That's a nice little double stop if you can do it. Second of a first, second of a first, and then it's into. That's a flattened fifth, which you can play with your fourth finger. And E under that A is nice. Another thing you can do is to do the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 rhythm. And on the first part, if the rest of the band is playing straight, you can go down. The second section, it's nice if the whole band changes to yum ticka dum dum ticka dum da yum ticka dum dum ticka dum dum. And if they've never done that before, then show them how to do it, and they'll be really excited by it, the difference it makes. And then when you come back to the third section, then play it straight. Okay, let's do all of that with a straight klezmer backing. Now onto the second version, and this is kind of a big band feel, and I did find a vaguely suitable band in a box backing to this. So it's really quite a lot slower on the A and B sections. We never actually get to the C section. It doesn't go into minor. We've got quite a lot of differences in the rhythm. In the middle it doubles up to the tempo, and we get the kind of klezmer sandwich in the middle, and then it slows down again and goes back to the beginning. So I'll count you in for the slow version. Okay, that's where it jumps tempo, but I'll just tell you a few things about this. If you're playing that slow, then I think it needs to be a bit freer than is written. So a bit more rubato, a bit more freedom of the movement, of the rhythm, and also a little bit of improvisation around the melody I think is suitable. So stuff like one of those bars of a single note is really too much. So do something like I've got a video on how to elaborate a melody, a jazz melody, which might be worth looking at if you're not sure how to do this. If you are playing in the context of a tightly arranged big band, then you might want to stick very closely to this arrangement, but as is far more likely you're playing with a small band or maybe just one accompanist, then yeah, a lot of freedom. You've got in, let's say, bar 69 a pair of triplets, and there's a lot of freedom to what you do with those, so it could be that kind of thing. You've got in bar 64 a D diminished. It's an interesting chord and a very nice one. So I'm playing third finger for the D flat, and then up to third position, sliding that third finger up. And if you were actually improvising on that, then that's the arpeggio that you might use for a D diminished. Right, from there it doubles up in tempo, and we get this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is pretty similar to what we had before as the second section, then it's straight back to the A section. And then it halves time back to that. Let's go through all of that now with the backing. Now, the days of big band as popular music are long gone, and the chances that you're ever going to play this with a big band are pretty slim. So I would say that the most appropriate place to do this kind of thing now is in a gypsy jazz context, where with just a couple of guitarists and a bass player you can really have a good go on this tune. So I'm going to play you out with a gypsy jazz backing, playing the klezmer version. If you want to do the sandwich, I'm not sure that would particularly work in a gypsy jazz context. Maybe the slow into the fast would work, but going back to the slow, to me, that is a step too far. But anyway, that's a matter of taste and a matter of opinion. So I'll play you out with the gypsy jazz version. If you'd like a copy of the dots for this, then do subscribe and send me an email. If you'd like more on the history of klezmer, and in fact this was taken from my book on klezmer fiddle, so do take a look at that, and I can send you a copy of the dots if you subscribe and send me an email. If you would like lots more of these videos to keep coming, do consider subscribing to my Patreon page, and there's a link above my head right now, and that will get you, among many other things, a zip file with all of my 300 odd PDFs. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon.